Good afternoon. Graduates, please rise for the academic procession.
Graduates, please be seated. Members of the platform, please be seated. Welcome to the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences 2021 commencement ceremony at Case Western Reserve University. And aren't we glad it's not raining? And I've checked the forecast and it should remain clear, but windy. What we're doing today, holding our ceremony in these socially distanced manner, is not what we all wanted, but I'm so glad we can have our event today and that you can be honored for the tremendous work that you've done, earning the Master of Science in Social Administration and the Masters in Nonprofit Organization. And we're welcoming your family and friends who are watching us live streamed for this event. Customarily, in addition to your friends, family, and loved ones, we are joined by many of our alumni who are living the mission of the school. And although we are diligently practicing our physical distancing, it's still important that we express our deep gratitude to the Alumni Board and alumni members across the globe for their dedication in their professional work and for their commitment to the Mandel School. With all that has happened during these 14 months, the Case Western Reserve University community was highly motivated to create a way to honor and celebrate all of our graduating students in person this year. Each of you is outstanding and will go forward to change the world. You've earned the Master of Science in Social Administration or the Master in Nonprofit Organization degree. Some have earned both degrees. These degrees signify not only your academic success, but more importantly, your passage into professions where you have chosen to serve others and to build strong communities. Whatever path is in your future, nonprofit leader, advocate, organizer, policy analyst, professor, lawyer, parent, claim your professional identity and be proud. You are all change agents and Mandel School graduates. Of course, our graduates have not accomplished this milestone all on their own. There are many people who have supported them along the way. Graduates, in recognition of all those who have helped you, mothers, fathers, spouses, partners, family, and friends, would you please join me in honoring them with a round of applause? Excellent. During normal times, without COVID-19 protocols in place, you would see most of your faculty members on stage with us today. They were disappointed that they could not join your ceremony today. Faculty members and field advisors have been integral to your education. These dedicated individuals have worked hard to provide excellent educational experiences for you. Representing our faculty, we have leaders of our master's degree programs on stage. I will ask them to stand when I say their name. Dr. Scott Wilkes is the Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs and is representing the Master of Science in Social Administration degree program. Representing the Master in Nonprofit Organizations is Dr. Robert Fisher. Thank you both for being here. Graduates, please join me in applauding the efforts of all of your faculty who have worked with you in your educational journey. Now, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the Mandel School graduate student speaker, nominated by her peers to represent the 2021 graduating class. And our speaker is Cheyenne DeShields.
Wow, we're really here. You all look really great, by the way. Thank you. All right. First of all, I just want to say, it's, wow, so surreal seeing everybody in person after so long, after all these months. I think this is my favorite part of this event so far, just seeing your beautiful faces, just seeing how we've all persevered through all this and how we're here. We made it. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for that, first of all. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to represent the class on this momentous occasion. For those who don't know me, my name is Cheyenne DeShields, and I'm a member of the Mandel School graduating class of 2021. And it feels so good to say that. When I first found out that I was selected to give this student speech at graduation, I said, oh my God, please, no, not me, not me. Thank you, by the way, everyone who supported me through those initial moments of panic that I had. I really appreciate y'all. But in all seriousness, I really wondered if I could be the one to do this. I said to myself, and even to others, that I am not a public speaker. And in a panic, I, of course, called my mother, who's the first person I call in every situation like this. And she, with this authority and conviction in her voice that I wish that I'd had at the moment, said, I know you're nervous, but don't count yourself out. And to me, that was really all that needed to be said. How profound and relatable. Because hasn't that been the experience of so many of us during our time in this program? How many times have we faced something new, whether a difficult assignment, a task at our field placement, or even a client and said, what have I gotten myself into? We have all the classic anxiety symptoms. Our heart races, we sweat, we try to breathe with varying levels of success. But then this amazing thing always seems to happen. Whatever it is, whatever that thing is that is giving us so much fear, we do it. And we do it well. And what does it mean to do something well? Because for me, it definitely doesn't mean that everything goes perfectly. Sometimes it means making a mistake, or 2, or 50. And that's okay, because sometimes the biggest life lessons are learned from what we didn't get right the first time. And this program, for me and for probably many others, has been a process of just pushing through hurdle after hurdle. And probably for all of us, doing things well, especially doing this program well, has meant doing really hard things that we didn't think we were capable of. It's meant overcoming fear. It meant doing hard things even when we were scared out of our minds. It means sacrifice. Those late nights doing readings and papers, those early mornings at field, those weeks without end instead of weekends. Most notably, for all of us, doing this program well has meant persevering through a global pandemic, an unprecedented feat unlike anything in recent memory. And we've also learned about racial and social inequality in our classes while also participating in real time in this ongoing fight for justice. And while the world seemed to fall apart, we fell apart with it for a second, and that's all right. And then we got back up, and we pushed forward, stronger and better. All of us. And that's what counts. Not that we did everything perfectly the first time, but that we looked fear, fatigue, doubt, and even quite literally death square in the face. And we kept going, and we continue to do so. We kept showing up in the best way that we could. We can truly say that we came, we saw some things we didn't want to see, that's all right, and we conquered. And let us not ever leave out all that we've gained from our time here at the Mandel School. Knowledge from a top-notch curriculum in one of the top schools of social work and nonprofit management in the entire country. The expertise of distinguished leaders in our respective fields and concentrations. And we've also gained lifelong friendships and professional partnerships that have not only carried us through this program, but will continue to blossom even more as we continue in our careers. There are so many people in the Mandel School community, whether friends, professors, advisors, mentors, or others who have invested in us, who have seen so much potential in us that we didn't even see in ourselves at first. What an honor. Perhaps the most memorable gift from our time here is the skill set that we've gained that will allow us to truly make a difference in the lives of others, whatever that may look like for us. Many of us came in here with very little knowledge about our respective fields, but here we are now, professionals who are eager and prepared to flourish in whatever opportunities life has to offer. Just look at us now. We've made it to this moment. We get to be here celebrating this huge accomplishment together with our friends and loved ones watching. Uh-oh. For some of us, our ancestors would not have even had this opportunity because of their race, their gender, or their social class. But here we are now, making them proud. Some of our supporters, like our professors and others in the Mandel School community, are here with us in person. And to everyone here in person, I want to extend my deepest and most humble gratitude on behalf of the entire class. Your expertise, your patience, just everything that you've done for us throughout this program, it's really meant the world, and it's set us up for a lifetime of success. Thank you so much. Some people are supporting us here virtually through the live stream. And to them, including my own parents, my sisters, family, and friends, I say thank you as well. Thank you for your listening ears, your confidence in us, and your patience as we complained about how much work we had to do. Thank you so much. And finally, there are the ones who have passed on and who are celebrating us from afar. But are they really so far away? Perhaps they, in fact, are the closest to us in this moment. Because although we don't see them physically, they're here, present, in the deepest part of our hearts. To them we say this: we thank you, we love you, and we honor you for your role in making us who we are today, even if you're now watching from a different view. To my fellow students, those who know me know that I could say so much more, but I want to leave you with this. There's space for you. Wherever your feet land next, there's space for you to make a home there. There are people in your corner who delight in your success. This is the time to believe in yourself and to actively challenge any voice in your head that's trying to plant fear and doubt about your future. There's space for you to try, to make mistakes, and to succeed, and to do it all over again. There's space for you to be you, just as you are. Just keep going, keep persevering, and keep believing in yourself. Like my mother said, don't count yourself out. Whatever the next adventure is for you, the world is waiting for you to do it, and to do it well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for a memorable presentation. We'll now move on to the awards portion of our program. Due to COVID-19 protocols, unfortunately, we're unable to hand awards directly to the recipients or shake hands to wish you congratulations. I'm going to miss that. However, award recipients, as your name is called, please come to the stage to receive your award, which will be handed to you by one of the gloved members of our platform party. After picking up your award, please cross the stage and stop at the mark just right of the podium, and you and I will have a picture taken together. I'm pleased to begin the announcement of student awards with the Irene Sog Gross Award. Mandel School students select this award for a classmate to introduce this award. I would like to invite Catherine Ramke, the current Executive Director of the Mandel Council for Student Community Leadership, to the stage to present the award.
The Irene Sog Gross Service Award was established by Mr. Milton Gross to honor the memory of his wife, Irene Sog, Mandel graduate in the class of 1940. This award is presented to a member of the graduating class chosen by their peers in recognition of outstanding interest and accomplishments in the areas of humanitarian service. This year's winner of the Irene Sog Gross Service Award exemplifies all of the noted qualities. Student nominations included the following comments. This student approaches her work with a wealth of leadership experience to draw upon, but maintains a curious and open mind. She demonstrates empathy in building relationships, as well as strategy in her planning and advocacy, a fierce combination for a community social worker. She is a person whose energy radiates in space as she brings light, awareness, and deep and complex thoughtfulness to any topic. She continuously exhibits compassion and understanding for others that far exceeds what is required of her. She has spent her time at Mandel School exploring and discovering how she can best use herself, her talents, and expertise to achieve change through community healing, art, and activism. She is a fierce feminist and racial justice advocate who embodies what it means to be strengths-focused, healing-centered, and beautifully authentic in everything she does. She is an amazing community organizer who infuses her love of dance and movement into her work. I am inspired by her every day. The 2021 Irene Sog Gross Service Award goes to Alexandria Lexi Lattimore.
So Lexi's staying on stage. Let's find out why. The Sylvia and John A. Yankee Student Community Service Award is presented to a graduate who is actively engaged as a volunteer in one or more successful community service activities or projects while a student at the Mandel School. The spirit of the award is to recognize a student who exemplifies Emeritus Professor John A. Yankee's dedication to community service and his desire to strengthen the nonprofit sector. The award brings public attention to the extensive commitment of students to the nonprofit sector and provides the opportunity to highlight both the students' involvement and the organization. Faculty nomination comments about this year's graduates included, I considered nominating this graduate for her inspiring contributions to classroom discussions, but then I had the good fortune to attend one of her webinars where she shared her observations and practice wisdom from her work in the Huff neighborhood of Cleveland, which was even more inspiring. She combines her knowledge of individual and community trauma with her talents as a dancer and artist to develop creative community healing, support for neighborhoods suffering from decades of oppression. She combines empowerment, critical race, and place-based theories to respectfully engage community residents in healing storytelling and other forms of creative expression. She is a real joy to have in class and in the community, healing everyone she encounters. Her leadership in the use of art to empower people is a great tribute to the Mandel School and the legacy of John Yankee. The Sylvia and John Yankee Community Service Award goes to Alexandria Lexi Lattimore. Well, that was fun. The Norma C. and Albert I. Geller Student Award recognizes service by a student at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences toward the prevention of child abuse. This prize is awarded annually at graduation to a student who has done significant work in child abuse prevention. The nominee shall be a student who graduated in August 2020, January 21, or today. This year, we have 2 graduates who will receive this award. Faculty nominations included the following comments about the first recipient. One of the graduates' projects was to improve child welfare staff involvement with fathers as a resource to families whose children are at risk of being removed from their home or who have been removed from their home. And they are involved in family finding to keep children out of the child welfare system. He was passionate about including fathers before he became a student, and he has a commitment to making child welfare systems more attuned to including fathers. Having fathers involved in a child's life reduces many negative outcomes, from health disparities to educational failure to preventing gang involvement. Faculty comments about the second recipient included, this graduate is an online community practice for social change student, graduating today, who works for Ohio Guidestone in Cleveland. For her policy class project, she researched concerns about a drop in child abuse hotline calls in Cuyahoga County and nationally during the pandemic. Many people thought that a drop in child abuse calls was a result of more children attending school remotely because school personnel were not making as many calls to child abuse hotlines. A drop in calls for this reason would not mean there is less child abuse risk. Some professionals believe that families sheltering from the pandemic may have a greater risk of family violence. The Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services confirmed that a nearly 50% drop in calls in Cuyahoga County probably indicated that there are more children at risk of child abuse. So she began to advocate for more child abuse prevention services. The nominator states, I believe that the recognition of this award will encourage this graduate to devote her career to child abuse prevention. I am pleased to present the winners of the Norma C. and Albert I. Geller Student Award. The first award goes to Aaron Sharpley. And I ask Aaron to join me on the stage. And we're also recognizing Alyssa Wren, who is joining us virtually. Congratulations to both Aaron and Alyssa. Come on up, Aaron. Congratulations to both Aaron and Alyssa. Wonderful work that they're both doing. The Mandel School's Dean's Award for Outstanding Student Achievement is presented to a graduate whom faculty feel exhibits academic achievement, exceptional service to the school, and exemplary performance in field education. This year, there are 2 recipients of this award. Faculty nominations about the first recipient include the following comments. This graduate has been an outstanding contributor to the Mandel community. He has been a high-achieving academic student. In addition, he has found time to chair the Black Student Association. He was a resident assistant in CWRU housing. Moreover, he worked with kids in the community outside of the university. He was an underrepresented minority fellow in the Center on Trauma and Adversity, interested in the impact of COVID on the Black and brown communities. This graduate has immersed himself in the life of the school and the issues that impact diverse people all over the country. He's been designated as the 2021 Outstanding MSW Student of the Year by the National Association of Social Work in Ohio. He will be one of the outstanding alumni from our school. For the second recipient of the award, faculty comments included, this graduate has done outstanding work as the executive director of the Mandel School Leadership Council, shepherding the school through the pandemic. She was always willing to work with all members of the Mandel School community to help schedule events, gather and provide feedback, and represent the needs of students. She is now going above and beyond by representing students on the Dean's Search Committee. Her competent and professional leadership style is a model for all students and faculty alike. For all of their accomplishments in leadership, I am pleased to present the 2021 Dean's Award for Outstanding Student Achievement to Ivan Conard and Tiffany Mims. Please come to the stage. This concludes the Student Awards portion of our program. Now we'll move on to awarding instructors and faculty at the Mandel School who are nominated by this year's graduating class. Each year we recognize one individual as an outstanding field instructor. Field instructors are the social workers in the agencies who work without extra pay to help students develop their professional skills, apply the classroom theory to the realities of today's service delivery challenges, and develop their identities as professional social workers. They do it because they are committed to students and the future of the profession. Student nominations including the following comments. This field instructor goes above and beyond in her duties as a field instructor. She has taken great care to create a warm and welcoming environment. She's been very intentional with gradually increasing my responsibilities and making sure that I am comfortable with any proposed changes. Her devotion to her role as a field instructor and her commitment to my professional growth was especially highlighted when she decided to continue as my field instructor even after starting employment at a different organization. She also graciously arranged for me to have on-the-job support in her absence by assigning another colleague to be my task supervisor. Her insight, professionalism, and dedication have been an integral part of my experience at my field placement and of my development as a social worker. And I feel prepared for life after graduation because of her unwavering support. There are not enough words to describe my gratitude towards this field instructor, but I hope that this award will allow the Mandel School community to see how much of a blessing she has been to me. It's with great pleasure that I announce the 2021 Outstanding Field Instructor of the Year, Melinda Wagoner. And Melinda is joining us today via live stream. Congratulations, Melinda. And now I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Adrienne Hatton, President of the Mandel School Alumni Association, who will announce the John A. Yankee Outstanding Teacher Awards.
Thank you, Dean Gilmore. Welcome guests, faculty, and graduates. As president of the Mandel School Alumni Association, I welcome the class of 2021 to our ranks. Today, you join over 8,812 Mandel graduates from all 50 states and 41 countries from across the world. As alumni, we feel strongly connected to this school because of the difference it has made in our lives. Our alumni and friends are working hard to support our current and future students so that exceptional students just like you can have this excellent educational opportunity. As valued supporters of the Mandel School's mission and vision, our greatest goal is to raise scholarship money to help offset the cost of tuition for students. The gifts contributed, no matter the size, are critically needed funds which provide financial support to our students. And I am delighted to tell you that we have especially good news to share this year. Last year, our alumni and friends donated a total of $1,867,507 by April 30th, 2020. Most of these funds are for scholarships and financial aid. In 2021, as of April 30th, we have a total of $2,284,276. That's an increase of $416,769. Thank you to our alumni for your amazing support. Graduates, now that you are officially alumni, please consider giving back to the school when you are ready with your time, talent, and treasure. Please save the date for your first reunion to be held on October 21st through the 24th. This year's graduates attend for free as we will continue to celebrate you and your accomplishments during our fall festivities, even though it feels like fall now. The Alumni Association is proud to be involved in the presentation of the Outstanding Teacher Awards. The awards honor Emeritus Professor Dr. John Yankee, who was nominated a record number of times as Outstanding Teacher in both the MSSA and M&O degree programs, for his amazing ability to enlighten, motivate, and inspire students. This award is a testimony to the tremendous talent and commitment of each one of our faculty members at the Mandel School. Let's begin with the John A. Yankee Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Award. In the words of the nominating students, this instructor provided high-quality instruction for the individual theory and practice course. She also modeled the empathy and active listening that she was helping us to learn. From the moment that her class started, she created a space that was characterized by compassion, transparency, and academic excellence. Her feedback on our assignments was timely and insightful. She provided encouragement and instruction that fostered bravery in the case studies we role-played. This instructor made herself available outside of class to answer any student questions and offer students support generally. I will be a better clinician as a result of studying with her, and I am grateful to call this instructor a mentor to me. The 2021 John A. Yankee Outstanding Adjunct Teacher at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is Megan Ray Novak. Next, I'm pleased to announce the winner of the John A. Yankee Outstanding Full-Time Teaching Award. In the words of the nominating students, this instructor has an ability to moderate a classroom to produce meaningful learning in a way that is unparalleled to many other professors. She uses a combination of materials and pointed questions that result in key takeaways and thought-provoking discussions. She provided honest and helpful feedback on assignments that was relevant to field practice and academic advancement. This instructor was responsive to student needs and taught with both high standards and great empathy, which is sometimes a difficult combination to master. She is truly an outstanding person and one of the best professors I have had while at the Mandel School. The 2021 John A. Yankee Outstanding Full-Time Teacher at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is Dr. Adrienne Fletcher. Now, for the John A. Yankee Outstanding Master of Nonprofit Organizations Teacher of the Year Award. This award is presented to an instructor who demonstrates dedication to the development of students in the M&O program and their educational experience at the Mandel School. In the words of nominating students, this instructor's leadership class is interactive, even within a virtual format. She is engaging, encouraging, and provides positive and helpful feedback to students. I was impressed with her willingness to try new tools within Zoom to keep students engaged. The 2021 John A. Yankee Outstanding M&O Teacher of the Year at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is Megan Granson. Megan could not be here with us today, but I extend her a special congratulations as an M&O grad myself. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Hatton. Congratulations to Megan Ray Novak, Adrienne Fletcher, and Megan Granson. Wow. They make it happen in the classroom and in the field. Now I'd like to begin the Dean's Discretionary Awards. This year we have 4 very special awards that are not issued every year, but only when there is a clear individual who shines and embodies the criteria of each of these respective awards. Let's begin with the presentation of the Distinguished Service Award. This year we are presenting the Distinguished Service Award to an outstanding social worker whose dedication to this community and many others has made an immeasurable impact. Susan Sternad Basil earned her MSSA in 1981. Early in her career, Ms. Sternad Basil proficiency in effective treatment of affective disorders in youth, coupled with her active community leadership, led her to develop a widely recognized suicide prevention program, which was implemented in Cleveland schools. This program diminished an alarming trend of teen suicide in the 1980s. Her work in this area led to the U.S. Coast Guard in Cleveland engaging her to help develop their suicide prevention program in 1989. As Family Programs Administrator for the 9th Coast Guard District, Ms. Sternad Basil not only developed a robust suicide prevention and training program, she created 8 more trainings to assist unit command requirements. She managed all work-life programs and developed policies to standardize intervention programs. She also created a robust network of free referral services available to unit members and families, all while providing support to her 120 U.S. Coast Guard units across the 8-state Great Lakes region. She went on to be a family violence specialist at U.S. Coast Guard headquarters in Washington, D.C., overseeing and updating over 30 policies and programs used by the Coast Guard to ensure mission readiness. She served as lead trainer for the Coast Guard nationwide. Of particular importance was her advocacy and development of Coast Guard policy incorporating critical incident stress debriefing as part of operations. Her efforts resulted in a decrease in medical discharges by over 30% in its first year, representing a cost saving to the government in the millions. Then, as workforce policy advisor, Ms. Sternad Basil served as key advisor to the U.S. Coast Guard Commandant. She developed and implemented the Coast Guard's first diversity strategic plan and policy, plus a leadership development program. She led the senior quality action team that codified the Coast Guard core values still in place today. The U.S. Coast Guard then found the need for her services as special needs program and work-life specialist in Miami. There she managed over 200 cases of special needs military dependents, plus conducted overseas screening services for the U.S. Coast Guard to ensure suitability and stability of family member accompanied assignments. Ms. Sternad Basil then went to work for the Defense Intelligence Agency as Chief of Plans and Programs. In this capacity, she advised on the implementation of an intelligence business case for diversity and developed policies and unprecedented programs for effectively managing a diverse global workforce. Ms. Sternad Basil established the DIA's first Hispanic Initiatives Plan and an active partnership with historically Black colleges and universities, and she re-engineered the DIA's disability program and published the first Reasonable Accommodation Handbook. In the wake of 9/11, Ms. Sternad Basil initiated and led the production of the award-winning Spirit of America, which was presented at the first anniversary of the attacks. Ms. Sternad Basil became Deputy Chief of the Diversity Management and Equal Opportunity Office in 2004 and directed all legislative, congressionally directed programs, policies, and plans while spearheading the Women's Career Development and Mentoring Lecture Series as a few of her duties. She then moved to Senior Operations Director, where she managed all office operations and personnel in the DIA Controller's Office. Remaining with the Defense Intelligence Agency, she then took on the position of Chief, Enterprise Operations Office, developing over 22 policies and procedures to ensure workforce efficiency. She has served as staff director for both the Solutions Integration Office and the Enterprise Management Office of the Chief Information Officer, where she managed all civilian and military personnel human resource activities. Ms. Sternad Basil was the Senior Intelligence Community Engagement Lead on IT systems rollout, impacting all 18 intelligence community agencies. As the Deputy Chief Data Officer for the Defense Intelligence Agency, she was instrumental in establishing the initial functions of the Chief Data Office and modernizing the DIA's data enterprise, directly impacting national security on a global scale. She retired from federal service on December 31st, 2019. Her awards, certifications, and affiliations are too numerous to list, but Ms. Sternad Basil has been listed in 6 different Who's Who publications and has received some of the highest awards given to federal government personnel. In her spare time, Susan supports hospice and advocates for elder care and rights, mentors youth, supports food drive events, coordinates neighborhood services, and support to the elderly and homeless in the DC area, and supports a Northern Virginia warm line, and is a lifelong member in the Federal Women's Program. She voluntarily led art support sessions at Walter Reed Medical Center for rehabilitating service members for over 11 years, wrote, sang, and recorded a few United Way jingles, and even plays and sings in 2 different guitar groups. A very accomplished and talented person. She has had an extraordinary, varied, and meaningful career in which she states that she used every day the social work skills that she developed at the Mandel School. As a result of all of these efforts, the Mandel School proudly presents Susan Sternad Basil, MSSA 1981, with the Distinguished Service Award for outstanding contributions to the social work profession, the community, and the Mandel School. The Grace Longwell Coyle Award honors one of the finest educators in social work history. It is given by the Mandel School Dean to a person who embodies the spirit, commitment, and innovation shown by Grace Longwell Coyle herself. Grace Coyle's work in the YWCA provided her with a platform for her exploration of group work. From 1934 to 1962, Professor Grace Coyle was a prominent member of our faculty, where she developed the first group work curriculum in the world. In 1935, she wrote an award-winning paper called Group Work and Social Change, in which she discussed the functions of group work to contribute to the kind of society we desire and the making of citizens. She viewed one of the primary functions of group work as education on social issues and creating an atmosphere to help people get involved in social action. As a result of her scholarly pursuits and sincere dedication, Grace Coyle not only created a discipline, but positioned the Mandel School as the nation's leading resource in group work theory. Professor Coyle would be extremely proud of this year's recipient. Geneva Bolton Johnson is a class of 1957 Mandel School graduate and was the first African-American woman to graduate from Albright College in 1951 with a Bachelor of Science degree. In that continued era of segregation, the YWCA in Houston, Texas hired her. In fact, her affiliation with the YWCA started when Miss Johnson was a Girl Scout and volunteered at the Reading, Pennsylvania YWCA. It was there at the YWCA that her connection to Grace Coyle began. Grace was head of the YWCA National Laboratory Division, directing research from 1930 to 1935, and she had a national reputation by then. Later, it was the YWCA that paid for Ms. Johnson to attend the then School of Applied Social Sciences in the group work track and to study with Grace Coyle. After her graduation and throughout her career, she was the first African-American woman to hold numerous positions. Starting as a program director with the YWCA in Houston, Texas, she then served United Ways in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New York before joining the United Way of America in 1978. She went on to become the United Way of America's first female national senior vice president, leading strategic planning and public policy, and essentially spearheading organizational change and empowering teams of people to do the same. In 1983, Ms. Johnson became president and CEO of Family Service America, which had about 300 local affiliates across the United States offering professional counseling and mental health services to families. And she served in this role until 1994. As a trailblazer in social services, Ms. Johnson drew on her group work training to bring forward emerging leaders and teach them the skills that would help them develop as professionals and to lead groups. Ms. Johnson has worked to bring people together for the good of the community. She says, "No community is great unless the people who are there are involved to help it become great. Each person has worth, and when we strive to bring out that worth in each other, the whole community benefits." Never losing her passion for service and positively influencing her community, Ms. Johnson has lived a long second career as a board member, advisor, counselor, and mentor, roles she has continued into her 90s. Geneva Johnson embodies the core values of our school and those of Grace Coyle through a lifelong commitment to excellence in social work and nonprofit leadership, devotion to the education and empowerment of others within groups and teams, and attentiveness to including diverse people in places where they may not have previously been. In these ways, she is a true role model for all of our students. That is why today, the Mandel School proudly honors Geneva B. Johnson, MSSA 1957, with the Grace Longwell Coyle Award for significant contributions to the social work profession, the community, and the Mandel School. Ms. Johnson is joining us today via live stream. Congratulations, Ms. Johnson. The award has been sent to Ms. Johnson, and she called to tell me how much it means to her and how wonderful it was to study with Grace Coyle, but most importantly, to do the work that she has done throughout her life in helping other people and in building strong communities. It's now time to present the Herman D. Stein Distinguished Social Work Educator Award. As mentioned, this is not an annual award, but rather an exceptional award given only when a body of work is deemed significant and a recognized contribution to social work education and the profession is noted. The award honors Herman Stein, Dean Emeritus of the Mandel School, for his life's work, extraordinary body of knowledge, and commitment to social welfare here and abroad. He was a social work luminary whose work changed the face of international social welfare. We are proud to continue his memory at the Mandel School through this award. It's my pleasure to present the Herman D. Stein Distinguished Social Work Education Award to Professor Emeritus David Beagle, who retired from the Mandel School in 2020 after 33 years of service to the school. Dr. Beagle is the Henry L. Zucker Professor Emeritus of Social Work and Psychiatry. He served as the Mandel School's chair of the doctoral program 3 separate times, illustrating his commitment to service and benefit of students. He also served as Associate Dean of Research and Training for 7 years, during which time he assisted his colleagues in securing external funding and expanding the research portfolio of the school to record levels. He is a Fellow of the American Academy of Social Work and Social Welfare. He is also a Fellow of the Gerontological Society of America and the Society for Social Work and Research. In recognition of his stellar career as a scholar, the Society for Social Work and Research gave him its Distinguished Career Achievement Award in 2020. From his days as a VISTA volunteer and community organizer, Dr. Beagle committed his life to bringing positive change to the lives of the people whom he served. After earning the MSW and PhD in social work, he found that he could be effective by using his talents to identify social policy needs and advocating for improvements through his scholarship. He's been very successful in these endeavors. Dr. Beagle's scholarship has been supported by 51 grants from foundations and local, state, and federal agencies. He is the author of more than 130 publications, principally focused on family caregiving with frail elderly individuals, with persons with severe and persistent mental illness, and with individuals with co-occurring mental and substance use disorders. His scholarship contributions have been very important, and he has helped to train 2 generations of social work leaders. For all of these reasons, influential educator, scholar, highly regarded colleague, and strong social work role model, I present the Mandel School's Herman D. Stein Distinguished Social Work Educator Award to Dr. David Beagle. There's one more award that will be announced today. Our commencement speaker is Senator Sherrod Brown, who is the senior senator for Ohio. He is being awarded the Mandel School Advocate for Social Justice and Leadership Development Award. To help present this award, I would like to invite his wife, Connie Schultz, to join me at the podium. Ms. Schultz is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. Among her other honors, she was the Mandel School's Class of 2016 Commencement Ceremony Speaker and the recipient of the Mandel School Advocate for Human Service Award. Senator Brown received his Bachelor of Arts degree in Russian Studies from Yale University and went on to receive a Master of Arts degree in Education and a Master of Public Administration degree from the Ohio State University in 1979 and 1981, respectively. Throughout his distinguished career, Senator Brown has been committed to social and economic justice, the dignity of work, the idea that hard work should pay off for everyone, no matter who you are, where you live, or what kind of work you do, has been paramount in Senator Brown's agenda. He has held nearly 500 roundtables across Ohio because he believes the best ideas do not come out of Washington. They come from conversations with Ohioans across our state. Senator Brown joined civil rights legend Congressman John Lewis as co-chair of the congressional delegation to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the March for Voting Rights in Selma, Alabama in 2015, and made the pilgrimage to Selma for the 5th time in 2019. As a former Ohio Secretary of State, Senator Brown has long championed voting rights, and the Washington Post called his voter registration efforts probably the most intensive and wide-ranging in the nation. Senator Brown is fighting to ensure that all Ohio children, no matter their zip code or the color of their skin, can succeed. He has joined with officials and community partners to launch My Brother's Keeper mentorship programs for boys and young men of color in cities across Ohio. For more than a decade now, he has also convened a one-of-its-kind Ohio College Presidents Conference in Washington to discuss ways to leverage federal resources to promote higher education and job training in Ohio. Additionally, Senator Brown is the longest-serving Ohioan on the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, where he works to expand educational opportunities for veterans, service members, and their families. Senator Brown, your efforts to create consumer protections, ensure accessible, high-quality health care for all, and your commitment to social and economic justice are an inspirational and motivational model for our students and the community. The Mandel School's mission is advancing leadership in social work and nonprofit education, scholarship, and service to build a more just world. Your work and achievements are highly aligned with the mission and vision of our school. I know that our graduating students will be charged by the message that you will deliver. Senator Sherrod Brown, for this and your many significant contributions to promoting social justice, empowering communities, shaping public policy, informing social change, and transforming lives, the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences proudly bestows upon you the school's highest honor, the Mandel School Advocate for Social Justice and Leadership Development Award. Congratulations, Senator Brown.
Dean Gilmore, thank you. It's an honor to be here. I will be brief because I'm cold. I assume you're cold because you're like the same place I am. So thank you all. It's such an honor to be. Cheyenne DeShields, thank you for your inspiring words. You say you're not a speaker, but you are a speaker. You are now. So, and the award winners, thank you for, and Ms. Johnson, whom I don't think I've ever met, who is watching presumably in her 90s. What an inspiring life she's had, and I want to learn more about her besides what the dean said. It's an honor to speak at any commencement. I feel the pressure, some pressure always, speaking at such a meaningful day in people's lives, but there's added weight today in my brief speech for two reasons. First, this is Dean Gilmore's final commencement. 46 years is a long time to do anything. Dean Gilmore, that you have been at Case for nearly half a century, says so much about your commitment to this school's mission and the supportive, dynamic center of learning that you and so many others have built and sustained that means so much for our country. The second reason for some trepidation is because, as Dean Gilmore said, I'm standing today where Connie Schultz stood not so many years ago delivering the commencement address to the class of 2016. It's tough to follow a writer you admire, especially even more so when you're married to her. And I can't count the number of people that have come up to me and said, Senator, I like you, but I love your wife. And each person that says that to me thinks it's their original line, but I've heard it 400 times, something like that. The Mandel School is a special place for Connie and me, a school in our home city. We feel such a connection to the work you do. The first school in the country dedicated to social work, what we call social justice. To speak to all of you, to receive this rare honor, it moves me, it energizes me, and it lifts my spirits. Commencements are joyous occasions filled with bright students looking ahead to promising futures. I always express the hope that many of you will stay in Ohio and that for a few at least, you will make careers in public service. I don't have to sell anybody. I talked to a number of you prior to the commencement. I don't have to sell any of you on commitment to community. That's why you're here. That's why you started here. That's why you went back to school to come here. I don't have to convince you to serve something greater than yourselves. It's the reason you're here. Different paths brought you to this day, for sure, to this diploma. You've had different experiences earning your degree. Some of you came fresh from undergraduate. You're 21. You came here as 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. Some of you came with a singular sense of purpose, knowing from a young age that this service was your calling. Some of you have children to care for in between classes. Some of you worked all week and drove from Stark County or from Lake County or from your home in Cleveland or further and dedicated your weekends to this program. Regardless of your path to this day, you share, perhaps more than any graduates I ever speak to, you share an uncommon wisdom and empathy, an ability to see the problems and the people our society too often ignores. This pandemic has been the great revealer. It's laid bare so many of the problems and inequalities in our society. Racial disparities, wealth inequality, hazardous jobs, lack of broadband, housing instability. How many Americans are one emergency away from turning to a payday lender or to a pawnbroker or to a check casher? You saw those problems for most of you long before any of us had ever heard the word coronavirus. For many of you, it's what drove you here to Case, to the Mandel School, to an institution that gives out a social justice award. I know you're in the right place. This community, this state, this country needs your expertise, your passion, your commitment to justice. Because the pandemic didn't just reveal these problems in our society, it made most of them worse. This pandemic's also been the great accelerator. But often the greatest progress, but here's the good news, often the greatest progress comes out of the darkest of times. A brief bit of history. Look at the New Deal. We're in a crisis unlike anything the country had ever seen. Fascism was on the march in Europe. Americans were living in the rubble of the failures of the Gilded Age economy. In the face of all that, our country not only rose to meet the moment of the current crisis, we built something better. We created social insurance, Social Security, unemployment insurance, later Medicare. We empowered unions. We created, or at least brought to our country, collective bargaining. We took on Wall Street power. We created the strongest economy, the largest middle class the world's ever seen. We inspired a generation of public service. Bright young people all over the country felt a sense of duty. They saw that government could make a positive difference in people's lives. That's what so many people see today. It's what many of you will show people throughout your career. The New Deal expanded prosperity to more people than we'd ever seen, perhaps in Western history. But FDR himself acknowledged the history is unfinished. We know the New Deal, in a segregated country, the New Deal excluded African Americans, it excluded black and brown workers, it excluded most women. For pretty much everyone else, including everyone, we need an update. In the ensuing decades, instead of righting its wrongs, instead of expanding prosperity further and including more and more Americans, we've shrunk it down. Little by little, powerful special interests have chipped away at the solidarity we had begun to build out of the ashes of the Great Depression. Emerson said history is a fight between the innovators and the conservators. The innovators, people like you that are moving this country forward, people whom you gave these awards to, all of you as students that care about a progressive tradition and a progressive future in our country, but a fight with the conservators, as Emerson said, those who want to get privilege and hold on mostly to their white male privilege. And unfortunately, conservators have too often won in our country. The pool of people sharing in our nation's prosperity narrowed instead of expanding. We see the consequences in our city. Connie and I live in zip code 44105 in the city of Cleveland, 15 minutes from here. Our zip code had more foreclosures in the first half of 2007 than any zip code in the United States. Now, part of your education obviously involved field work, getting out of the classroom into the community. Brings to mind one of my favorite Abraham Lincoln stories. His staff wanted him to stay in the White House and win the war and free the slaves and preserve the Union. And Lincoln said, no, I have to go out and get what he said, my public opinion baths. He understood, as you do, as Case Mandel School graduates, that talking to the people he served, learning about their lives, seeing his policies in action, all of that was part of his job. It's the job of any public servant. You all have gotten your public opinion baths in your field work and in your classrooms. Many of you will spend your careers pushing public officials to get theirs. You'll push them to listen, to commit to social justice, to resurrect that term solidarity. It's a concept central to sisters and brothers in the labor movement. When you succeed, I succeed. Solidarity is what stiffened our resolve over the last year to limit grocery store trips and plant modern-day victory gardens, to forego holidays and weddings, to wear masks, to get ourselves and our families and our neighbors vaccinated. You understand perhaps, well, not perhaps, certainly more than most, that we're in this together. None of you reached this moment on your own. You know the village that got you here. I'll leave you with two parting charges. First, as you leave today, I implore you to thank that village. Thank your parents and your spouses and your siblings. But don't stop there. Think for a moment about, say, two people who helped set you on the course that enabled you to walk out of here with this degree. Maybe a high school teacher, an aunt, an uncle, a mentor at a job or an internship. Commit right now. Just think as I conclude this speech. Think about two people that helped you most, and call them tonight. Tell them how much their mentorship meant to you. I guarantee that call to those two people from you will make their day, make their month, maybe make their year. They will remember it the rest of their lives. Can commit to being that inspiration, that mentor to someone else. I know you thought you were done with your homework. That's my last request. Allow me to make one more suggestion. Read Dr. Martin Luther King's letter from the Birmingham jail. Probably all of you have read it, but I ask you to read it again. I lead what's an annual tradition now in the U.S. Senate. I invite 3 Republican senators and 3 Democratic senators to come with me to the Senate floor. We divide up Dr. King's 1963 letter from the Birmingham jail that he wrote on the margins of a newspaper article that had been sent to him from a call from from a group of ministers. Dr. King addressed the letter not to his sworn enemies, but to his supposed allies, these white, moderate clergy members from Alabama. These ministers claimed to support civil rights and the civil rights movement's goals. But they told Dr. King, they said, slow down, not too fast. We're for voting rights, we're for equal rights, we're for civil rights, but not too fast. Be patient. Dr. King rejected that premise. In his letter, and I'll close with this, in his letter he admonished them, he admonishes of all of us. He said, progress doesn't roll in on wheels of inevitability. Progress doesn't roll in on wheels of inevitability. You know that as graduates of Mandel. It's up to us. It's up to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Brown, for an inspiring talk. I'm sure your words, but most importantly, your example as a social justice advocate and community leader will long be remembered by all who heard your address today. And as your dean, students, I remind you, you do have one more homework assignment from Senator Brown. And be interesting to hear from you in the future what you learn when you make those phone calls. Graduates, the education that you've earned at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is the beginning of the next phase of your journey. You've been remarkable in not only your academic achievement, but also in your spirit, in perseverance in these challenging times. You've been tested and you are ready to go forth. You joined the school because you felt a deep yearning in your heart to help others. At the Mandel School, we have honed your natural talents and taught you new skills. You've achieved success in all of the competency areas necessary to be successful. Your passion to be a powerful change agent has been stoked. And most importantly, you are prepared to be a leader. We are pleased that so many of our graduates joined the Mandel School's commencement ceremony, both in person and via live stream. Each graduate will receive their diploma and a special gift from the Alumni Association in the coming weeks by mail. For those graduates joining us via live stream who finish their coursework in August or January, your commencement program will also be included in that mailing. Now we've come to the part of the program for which we've all been waiting. We'll now honor the graduates of the Master of Science in Social Administration and the Master of Nonprofit Organization degree programs. Each graduate able to join us here at Freiberger Field will come forward wearing an academic hood symbolizing their master's degree. After we have recognized our in-person graduates, we will conclude this afternoon's ceremony by honoring those graduates who are joining us via live stream. Graduates, as your name is called, you will step onto the stage and stop at the small table to my left to pick up your commencement letter from Interim President Scott Cowan and Provost Ben Vincent. From there, you will cross the stage, stop on the space marked on stage close by me, to my right, while I wish you congratulations and will pose on our respective markers for a physically distant photo. At this time, we will begin the presentation of graduates. Marshals, please stand and cue the graduates.
Kaba Fatumata Alabi. Edith McBain Anderson Fries. Mahogany Cheyenne Anderson. Logan Meade Babcock. Isabel Joan Ballard. Sarah Elizabeth Balzer. Nate Bates. Gemma Alexandra Baugh. Garrett Maria Silva Benham. Hannah Lynn Brown. Brianna Jolina Burgos. Noelle Dancy Calvin. Destiny Nicole Camarillo. Mary Frances Capatina Bento. Denise Monique Cavanis. Catherine Winters. Ivan T. Connor. Gloria LaJoy Craig. Jillian Elizabeth Daney. Danique Dennis.
You're good, you're good. Okay, that's right, yeah. Sorry.
Cheyenne Alexis DeShields. Holly Eileen Dish. Shui Yi Duan. Amanda Katerina Ferrante. Aubriana Christine Finnicle. Brittany Gerhardstein. Michelle Juroski. Adriana Lachey Green. Heather June Grimes. Carlton Rose Grover. Rita Sobe Hanna. Lindsay Robin Harris. Rebecca Bailey Hauserman. Jamie M. Horry. Maria Victoria Howell Arza. Taisha Charday Johnson. Rhonda Michelle Jones. Hannah C. Corrali.
Samantha Keberly.
Mark Charles Kreshock. Lexi Lattimore. Ji-Won Lee. Whitney Leninger. Saida Canizales Markovic. Carol Faith Martinzik. Kathleen Martinez. Tiana Marie Martinez.
Chantel Monique Matthews. Jessica Marie May. Rochelle Lee McCarty. Sydney Shea McCollister. Kathleen Louise McKinley. Tiffany Delilah Mims. Vicki Mitchell. Christian James Mixon. Emily Marie Nemasek. Molly O'Brien. Sharisa Lynette Pitts. Nathan Caleb Powell. Fatima Rahman Aguilera. Pamela Yvette Ray. Lauren Marie Raymond. Sonia Salazar. Mai Emily Sagawa. Aaron Mullen Shank. Aaron C. Sharpley. Catherine Diane Simpson. Amanda Smigel. Brittany Rayshawn Smith. Charlia Spates. Jonah Nicely Stevenson. Allison Suovecki. Hina Tariq. Olivia Ellen Walsh. Lauren Elise Walters. Tammy Wilkes. Sarah Harriet Wolf. Manira Yates Novak. Jessica Ann Yoder. Taylor Minwen Young. Donovan Malik Young. Deontay Lamar Turner. Wei Chow. Ivy Ping Zhang. Myung Ju Kim.
I know you'll be sorry to hear that this concludes our presentation of in-person graduates. To view the virtual recognition of all graduates, please visit the Commencement website. For those joining us via live stream, the link will be posted on your screens after these closing remarks. Before honoring our graduates who are joining us via live stream, I want you to know that the Mandel School looks forward to welcoming you back in October for your first homecoming weekend as alumni on October 21st through the 24th. At that time, we will also be honoring the 2020 graduates, those who only had a virtual ceremony. So that's going to be quite a homecoming weekend, I think, for all of us to be at. Before I go into my final statement, I want to thank all the personnel who have been working here today and really in setting up everything that's been going on for the last week. These are very difficult circumstances. We've been here in some cold weather. They've been here for days in cold and rain, dealing with this, even trying to make sure that our flowers stay upright on the stage. So we're very grateful for everything you're doing And also I want to recognize the signers who've been working in making sure that we're having good captioning for everybody here. Today is your day, graduates of the Mandel School. You've been successful in a very demanding, high-quality degree programs, and you've done it during an unprecedented global pandemic that added incredible demands and stresses on you. And yet you persevered to success. I and all your teachers are very proud of you for what you have accomplished and for what we know you will do. I ask you to think about the people whom we honor today for their lifetime achievement. Susan Sternad Basil, Geneva Johnson, David Beagle, and Sherrod Brown. They each traveled very different journeys and have lived a life of significance. I am sure that when they were seated at their degree ceremony, they did not envision the opportunities that life would hold open to them. They did know that they wanted to lead a life of meaning that would benefit other people. I ask you, our graduates, to realize that you too will have many opportunities to serve as social workers and nonprofit leaders in ways that you cannot envision today. Seize those opportunities. Be change agents. Today is my 20th and last commencement ceremony as the Dean of the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences. It's been my honor to serve the wonderful faculty, staff, students, and alumni of our school. I have a treasure chest full of memories that I will cherish for the rest of my life. There's no time that I am happier as dean as when I congratulate our graduates. And there's no class of whom I am prouder than the class of 2021. Congratulations. Thank you. We ask our graduates to remain seated for a brief time until the platform party has exited the stage and the marshal cues you from your seats to follow us over to East Bell Commons and to exit the field. Marshals, please stand this time. And platform party, please follow me.